Beyonce's highly anticipated Cowboy Carter tour are dropping like a lot. Just months ago, a fan could expect to spend up to $800 for a pre-sale ticket to the opening night in the tour in Los Angeles. But hours before the concert, tickets had dipped to as low as $57.
All the single ladies are staying home as Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour, it is struggling to sell out. And it's not selling in the States or in London. And so you're just kind of wondering, you know, A, what's going on, and B, is she going to end up like Justin Timberlake singing to 11,000 fans at the very end of his tour in a 60,000 seat arena?
Beyonce jumped down on you.
She jumped down. She was like on a windowsill.
Right.
We was in Vegas. She said, come on, I'm talking to her. She jumped down. She was like, duh, duh, duh. And I'm like, wait, what did you do? I was watching Beyonce's early career, not by choice. It was just in your face. Like it was in the building. Like, so it was right there.
Out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy?
It was allegedly forced to appear in a
500. We need 500-600 people in here, man.
Knowles Carter were seated in the room, and upon seeing Manzaro, Beyonce Knowles Carter asked, "What's this? What's this all about? Why is this half-naked white man with a mask standing here in front of?"
He shared this TMZ headline reporting that ticket sales for Beyonce's new Cowboy Carter tour have stalled. Now, the tour kicked off in LA on Monday, and shockingly, tickets dipped to as low as $57. So the question is, why isn't the Beehive saddling up?
Beyonce's out of touch, okay? People are fighting for their lives. They're getting deported. They're losing their jobs. We have better things to do, Beyonce, than make you rich. And we're also in debt from your last concert. Can we just say that you just had?
This contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man.
So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
We talked about Jay. Proximity to Diddy. You don't think he knew it?
Welcome back to Star Hush, where we cut through the glitter and get straight to the grime behind the glam. Now get ready, because 50 Cent is spinning the block again. And this time, he's got the Carters in his scope. Yes, he's coming straight for Beyonce and not holding back. The latest drama? 50's calling her out for struggling to sell out her Cowboy Carter tour. But that's just the surface. The real fire is in what he's hinting at behind the scenes, because apparently Jay-Z might be using Beyonce's image to cover up something much deeper tied to the Diddy situation. With Diddy's trial creeping closer by the day, things are starting to spiral fast, and 50 is right in the middle of it, fanning the flames. So here's what went down. Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour just kicked off, but something's been feeling off. Fans are noticing the empty seats, the last-minute ticket drops, and Beyonce herself looking like she'd rather be anywhere else. The energy ain't there. Even her core supporters are scrambling to defend it, but the receipts? They're loud. Social media is flooded with screenshots of untouched floor seats, ticket resellers slashing prices, and some upper-level spots dropping as low as $20. Yes, $20 for a Beyonce ticket. But here's where it gets deep. 50 Cent just posted a cryptic message aimed directly at Beyonce. And let's just say, it was not about her vocals. The message wasn't petty. It was pointed. It looks like 50 is strongly hinting that the real issue ain't the music. It's the chaos unfolding behind the scenes. Allegedly, the Carters are trying to keep it clean in public, but behind closed doors, they're swimming in drama, especially with Jay-Z's name quietly popping up in those disturbing lawsuits tied to Diddy.
People play with people intelligence the way they play with people intelligence.
Like you see it and you, I'm not going because this. Yeah, I think I can take him.
Right. Tony Yayo just pulled up on Jay Prince, and what he revealed might be the wildest extortion setup hip-hop's ever seen. So here's how it went down. Jay Prince allegedly tried to flex that check-in or else routine on none other than 50 Cent. But 50, he didn't blink. Instead of bowing down, he straight up exposed the whole game like, come get me if you dare. Just like that, a Cold War turned nuclear between Houston's street boss and G-Unit's battle-hardened mindset. And this beef, it's been bubbling under the surface for years before it blew sky high. But to really understand how this fire got lit, we gotta rewind the tape.
No, it's a nigga who pick who he fight with. Right. Like if you see it and you, I'm not going because this nigga. Yeah, I think I can take him. Right. You want to fight that you think you can beat.
Jay Prince, OG founder of Rap-A-Lot Records, isn't just another name in the game. He's the template for a street-level shot caller. Houston, that's his turf. He moves like a storm. You don't hear it coming, but when it hits, everything shakes. He don't need to shout because his name, that alone sends signals. In H-Town, when Prince speaks, people listen. And if you were an artist pulling up in the city without checking in, that was a gamble with your chain or even your safety. That's the kind of grip Jay Prince had. But then came 50 Cent. And 50 was cut from a whole different cloth. He wasn't into playing street politics with self-proclaimed bosses. Since day one, he's been on that solo soldier wave. Ain't no check-in, no begging for safety, just raw confidence and a crew that moves with military precision. Beefing with Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, and the whole Murder Inc. squad. Yeah, that's how 50 Cent carved out his name.
Like I got.
Look at it. He's nothing given. You've never seen 50 give nobody no flowers, no respect. He just play on people downfall. Diddy, Irv Gotti, Ja Rule, now Big Meech. You've never seen 50 say nothing positive.
G-Unit Film Studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was going to be able to do it. You thought you was going to be able to get them loans and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long?
Looks like the drama between 50 Cent and Big Meech just exploded in a whole new direction. Big Meech straight up roasted 50, saying he's gone broke. All because of their beef, and it ain't just talk either. Rick Ross jumped in and spilled major tea, saying 50's been struggling to fund his new G-Unit studio. Word is he can't even get a loan because his credit's trashed.
50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I'll buy your masters. You better shut up.
Ross even threatened to snatch up 50's masters if he didn't fall back, saying, he clearly hurting for cash. That's bold, but let's be real. This is 50 Cent we're talking about. You think he's gonna sit quiet while Ross and Meech throw shade? Nah. 50 fired back hard, threatening to drop some savage receipts, like real deal proof of who's actually broke out here. Still, fans started asking the real question, what's really going on with 50's money? Is he actually slipping from his billionaire throne? Or is Rick Ross just talking wild to push his buttons?
Nigga took a picture with Rick Ross. You like a hoe, nigga. Put your back against the wall and just slide down. You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all niggas to understand you gotta stop making business personal.
Now here's the twist. Word on the street is Big Meech and Rick Ross might actually have the upper hand in this beat. People are saying 50 can't even keep the lights on at his own studio. And Meech and Ross, man, they're out here celebrating, acting like they're the reason 50's money ran dry. They've been clowning him heavy, saying he'll come crawling back begging for a lifeline once he's tapped out. But let's not get carried away. Are Meech and Ross living in some fantasy world? Because last time we checked, 50 Cent was holding down billionaire status. And real billionaires don't go broke over beef, especially one about who snitched and who didn't. If you've been keeping up with this wild 50 Cent and Big Meech feud, then you already know Rick Ross is deep in the mix. The whole mess kicked off when Big Meech teamed up with Rick Ross for a big welcome home concert, a move that was supposed to bring in major cash for both of them. But guess what? That concert got canceled at the last second, and nobody gave a clear reason why. Right away, people started pointing fingers at 50 Cent. The streets were buzzing, saying 50 didn't want Big Meech stacking paper with his enemy Rick Ross. Of course, 50 tried to shut it down fast, claiming he had nothing to do with it, but fans weren't buying it one bit. Rick Ross wasn't holding back either. He came for 50's neck, calling him a hurt hoe and saying he needs to stop crying and accept the fact that him and Meech are out here making moves without him. And let's be real, 50 never liked the idea of Big Meech and Ross teaming up in the first place. He made that loud and clear, throwing serious shade at Meech and straight up calling him a rat. To 50, Rick Ross is still Officer Ricky, and anyone hanging with him can't be trusted. But here's where it gets messy, real messy. Turns out 50 had actual receipts claiming Big Meech snitched to get out of prison early. And then 50 dropped a bombshell that had everyone shook. 50 Cent wasn't just throwing shade, he was planning a full-blown expose. He started working on a tell-all documentary about Tammy Cowens, the woman with all the secrets, especially the ones that could blow Big Meech's image to pieces. This doc was set to reveal exactly who, when, and how Meech allegedly snitched. No holding back. Now, for those who don't know, Tammy wasn't just some random friend. She was super close to Big Meech. And rumor has it, things might have been deeper than just friendship. Meech even sold her the life rights to his story, meaning she's the only one legally allowed to make movies, books, or shows about his life. That's huge.
Called Tammy Cowan, she's privileged to what's called the affidavits in support of the wiretaps.
Okay.
It's like 3 affidavits. In those affidavits, it tells Meech's full role. Now, I wouldn't allow to have them because they played this, I'm this kingpin and I'm this killer and they life in jeopardy.
Right.
In danger.
Right.
That's why they was able to close the courtroom. We'd have been out at Meech. But they played a cold game. I give it to her. They was playing chess and we was playing checkers.
Okay.
She used the threat of her life and that I was gonna have some hitmen in the federal courtroom to kill her. And they closed the courtroom to me and my shit standing room only. I'm that dude in that city, homie.
Right.
I'm that dude in that city.
Right.
So that's why they then came out. But the affidavits in support of the wiretap, she has them.
So she can get them for sure.
If she got them.
Okay.
She got them. The only person they barred from having the document was me.
Okay. Okay. So you the only one that don't got the information.
Right.
Gotcha.
Everybody else, it's called discovery. Everybody else got the packet.
Okay.
I wasn't going to address this because I'm not trying to let nobody treat me off the streets. But I never folded, never told, never will. Death before the time, always will be. So I'm doing this for my loved ones and the support of my friends and family. Come out to the Amarana Ring, February 13th.
According to 50, Meech messed up bad when he let that relationship with Tammy fall apart. Now, Tammy's out here singing like a bird, and she ain't sugarcoating a single thing. While she was lining up to spill the real story, Rick Ross and Big Meech were out here flaunting their money moves, basically clowning 50 every step of the way. Ross even said he was about to drop his own BMF movie and cash out big. This came right after 50 announced he was pulling the plug on the BMF series, claiming Meech and his son Lil Meech started acting slick behind the scenes.
To do a BMF film because you've been entertained by a lackluster, small budget series. Now it's time to do a big budget film. Which director? Shout out to my homie F. Gary Gray, Antoine Foucault, what's up? Tarantino. It's a lot of legends. This is gonna be big. I can feel it. I'm just talking.
Now here's the twist. Tammy, who owns Meech's life story, was actually working with 50 to create the BMF series in the first place. The show was fire, no doubt. But once Meech joined forces with Rick Ross, 50 hit back with Petty King energy and shut the whole thing down out of spite. But wait, here's the wild part. Lil Meech was playing his own dad in the show, and now he's caught in the middle of this mess trying to keep the story alive while his dad's beef just made everything crash and burn. 50 Cent was out here basically feeding Lil Meech, putting real money in his pocket through the BMF series. Word is Lil Meech made over $5 million from the show. But here's the crazy part. Dude didn't save a single dime, not one. He blew through the whole bag on flashy cars, iced out chains, designer fits, and a bunch of wild spending. While his dad's still locked up with barely $1 to his name, you'd think Lil Meech would have stashed at least something to help his pops out when he touched down. But nah. He went full flashy mode like the checks would never stop.
Got me before I even knew I could even act. I sat by him, and the next day he called me, 8 o'clock in the morning, woke me up. I'm like, damn, 50 calling me. So I answered the phone. He like, hey, what you think about going to acting classes? I want you to play your dad.
He looked like his daddy, like spinning his head down like his daddy. The same thing, like it was like, yo, got him from Atlanta to California and was able to get him with the coaches. And I believe you.
Don't be walking around with this shit by yourself.
I'm walking around with you. I'm only walking around with you with that motherfucker on. If I ain't with you, I don't want it.
It should come with the Draco. It should come with the Draco. It come with the Draco. Still, it should come with the Draco.
Yeah. Think about it, though, Far. How I feel.
This shit feel good. Wait, get the strap.
Tony Yayo even stepped in and called him out, saying Lil Meech should have been smarter with his cash and saved up for the stormy days. And when 50 Cent started dragging Big Meech online, Lil Meech jumped straight into 50's DMs, trying to cool things down and stick up for his dad. Lil Meech tried to explain himself, saying the link up with Rick Ross wasn't personal, it was survival. Big Meech needed quick money just to pay the bills while waiting on that next BMF check to drop. He told 50, I can't believe this, man. You act like I'm your enemy. I've only shown you love and loyalty. I'm human. I go through my own stuff, but I never turned on you. F. Ross. He just gave my dad some bread to cover bills till our next season hits. This internet drama got me twisted, man.
Boy, I see you struggling making that G-Unit film studio out there in Louisiana where that cheapest land at. You thought you was going to be able to do it. You thought you was going to be able to get them loans, and it ain't. What's wrong? What's taking so long? I know you want to make your mama one of them walking stars thing. Put down there. How your mama live. Make her own walking star. Let me get one of them Bel Air bottles to hold up on these. Man, you heard what I just said? Them skin bad, man. You see that auntie murder? They never killed nothing. But that nigga need a facial so bad. When I be seeing them black heads on them niggas, damn, them niggas doing bad. And 50, stop. You left your last hole because of something they said had to do with me. Don't leave Tony Yayo that. Come on, don't leave Louisiana. Don't quit like that because you showed the picture of how you wanted it to look. We call it renderings. You had the renderings, then you try to go get them loans and ain't nobody loan you that money. You ain't even built the G in the studio yet. That might be why when I stood next to Meech, your knees buckled. Your knees buckled. Put your back against the wall. Po nigga. You're po hustler.
You know me in real life. That's what Lil Meech told 50. But 50 wasn't trying to hear it. Instead, he dropped a nuclear bomb that flipped the entire beef upside down. He posted a screenshot of Lil Meech's message with a cold caption, "What next season?" He basically confirming that the BMF series is dead. Then came the real shocker. 50 announced he's taking the BMF story to a whole new level by teaming up with Tammy Cowens to drop a no-holds-barred documentary. And let's just say, it's not gonna be pretty. He's out to expose everything about Big Meech, who he's now calling Big Screech. This move crushed both Big Meech and his son. Without those BMF checks, they're left scrambling. We already saw how Lil Meech burned through $5 million like it was pocket change. And let's keep it real. What kind of job is Big Meech supposed to get after doing all that time behind bars for trafficking? If they want to live the flashy lifestyle they're used to, Lil Meech has to either bounce back into acting or somehow reignite a rap career. But after going head-to-head with 50, that door might be closed for good. Now here comes Rick Ross trying to play savior. Right after 50 pulled the plug on BMF, Ross fired back, saying he'd make his own version of the BMF story. And not just that, he claimed it would be way better than anything 50's G-Unit studio could ever put out. But here's where Ross hits a wall. 50 Cent actually owns the rights to the BMF brand. Yup, sources told TMZ that Rick Ross can't even move forward unless he gets permission from 50 himself. And let's be real, 50 Cent giving Rick Ross the green light, that's never happening. But just when you thought the drama had peaked, it went even wilder. The moment 50 made it clear he wasn't putting another dime into Big Meech's family, everything flipped. The loyalty, gone. Suddenly, Lil Meech and his pops were out here moving real funny, linking up with all of 50's enemies in plain sight. Next thing you know, Lil Meech is popping up at clubs with Rick Ross, posing for pics on purpose, making sure 50 sees every one of them. No shame at all. But wait, it gets messier. Big Meech and Lil Meech took it another level up by connecting with none other than Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, the same Floyd who's been beefing with 50 for years. Lil Meech posted a pic of him and Floyd hanging out, captioned "Real Power," a bold jab at 50's hit show Power. And if that wasn't enough, he dropped another photo with the classic shush emoji, like they were cooking up something big behind the scenes. It was starting to look like Lil Meech had switched teams completely, riding for his dad, but going full-blown op on the man who gave him his first major break. Wild part? Just weeks before, this same dude was in 50's DMs saying F Ross and pledging loyalty like a soldier. Now he's out here doing the exact opposite. But this is what happens when too many voices start whispering in your ear. 1 minute you're cool with someone, next minute you're siding with everyone they beef with. It's like Meech and his son just forgot how 50 held them down when no one else did. Even Boozy chimed in, saying he didn't like how soft Lil Meech came off in that message to 50. If it were him, he said he would have made it crystal clear, loyalty to family first, no hesitation. But 50 Cent wasn't going to stay quiet forever. He finally clapped back, and this time, he let it all out. He explained exactly why seeing Big Meech and Lil Meech hanging with his enemies hit different. He said, I did more for Meech than anybody in his life. That's why Boozy reacted the way he did. Every time Meech got locked up, I was the first one he called. I bailed him out. Every time. Then I see him laughing at his pop's post. That's when I knew. He's a snake too. He belonged with them. 50 didn't stop there. He broke down how he was basically a father figure to Lil Meech while Big Meech was locked up. He paid for acting school, cleaned him up when he was using, and made sure he had money in his pocket so he wouldn't get caught up doing illegal stuff. But everything started changing once Big Meech got out. According to 50, that's when bad advice started messing up Lil Meech's head. While 50 was trying to teach him how to manage money and stay clean, Big Meech was hyping him up to flex, spend recklessly, and live wild. I thought about it, 50 said, and I think Big Meech just didn't like the bond me and Meech had. I'm telling him to chill with the drugs. Meech is telling him it's cool. I'm telling him to stop blowing all his money. He's bragging about how much he spent. What people don't know is I had to send him to rehab. And then 50 dropped the hammer, saying even Russell Hornsby, who played in the BMF show, noticed something was off. Meech was high as hell on set, throwing up during a weapons test, 50 revealed. Then Ian hit 50 with the final straw. He said that little ninja had whippets in his truck. 50 was like, what the hell is whippets? Turns out it's that gas stuff found in BB guns that people inhale to get high, wild. After everything 50 did for Lil Meech, to have him flip like that and then publicly disrespect him, that's straight up betrayal. But don't think this chaos is cooling down anytime soon, not even close. Rick Ross is still out here throwing shots, recently clowning 50 and saying he's too broke to even build his new G-Unit studio. According to Ross, 50's credit is shot and no bank's messing with him. In another video, Ross straight up threatened to buy 50's masters, just to toss some coins in 50's pocket. That's cold. And word is, 50 saw all this and snapped, talking about dropping receipts to show who's really broke out here.
50, who own your masters? Who own your masters? I buy your masters. You better shut up. I will buy your masters.
50 laughed off the idea that this whole Big Meech beef is hurting his bag. Let's be honest. How much pull does Big Meech really have these days? Yeah, he was big back in the day, but it's 2025 now. The economy's a mess. Diddy's behind bars, and folks are just trying to survive out here. Ain't nobody got time to worship some ex-con trying to play street legend in the internet era. 50 might have been right when he called Big Meech a wannabe Pablo Escobar. The idea that Meech got enough influence to mess with 50's money is a joke. Let's not forget, 50's gone toe-to-toe with way bigger names than Meech or Ross and came out untouched. Still, you know 50 gonna flip this whole circus into a viral moment because that's what he does best. Now let me ask you, do you really think 50 Cent is going broke? Could this beef actually be messing with his money, or is Rick Ross just projecting his own struggles onto 50?
This outcome was always inevitable, right? This was always bound to happen. Big Meech